Stadium tonight, the Big A, as the Angels and Texas Rangers play the third game in a four-game series. The Angels are champions of the West. Texas settling for second place. Happy to have you with us, everybody. Rory Marcus along with Mark Gubiza. Tonight, the Angels and Rangers. The lineups will look a little bit different tonight than they have for most of the season. But when you talk about the bulk of the Angels season, there are so many contributors. I mean, you could make a case for MVP for a lot of guys, from Figgins at the top of the order on down.
No question about Sean Figgins has done an outstanding job for him. The table setter, the guy that gets everything stirred for this ball club. 113 runs scored, which is tops in the American League. And look at his ability now to walk. 101. He can steal some bags. His all-base percentage nearly 400, and he's picking it there at third base, making great play after great play. If you look back on the season, there's been a number of times defensively in which he's actually won games. You remember that game against Zach Greinke, two tremendous plays at third base. So he can prevent runs and scores a ton.
And he says, my arm saves me at third base. Speaking of good arms, Matt Palmer has been a valuable member of this staff this year.
Well, you look back in the season and so many guys that come in there and contribute. Who would have ever thought Matt Palmer would be up here at all wearing an Angel uniform, let alone being 10-2, 8-1. As a starter, he saved Mike Socha in his rotation a number of times and has been outstanding out of the bullpen, too. So when you look at Matt Palmer, he sinks the fastball, cuts the fastball, has a good curveball and a changeup. Not overpowering, but always around the plate. Gives Mike Socha a lot of innings. I'll tell you what, he's been a major contributor why they're going to the postseason.
You love a guy that wins, and Matt Palmer is 10-2 on the season. It's the Angels and the Texas Rangers coming up tonight. 5 games left in the regular season, including this one at the Big A. Baseball coming up next. Angels baseball is brought to you by Howard's. Catch all the excitement of Angels baseball on a new high-definition flat-screen TV from Howard's, official appliance and flat-screen superstores of the Angels. Yeah. We are back at the big hey. Oh, what a good baby. A young Angel fan. Wow.
Got Angel gear on. Look at that.
And awaiting the first pitch, no doubt. Probably a big Julio Bourbon fan. He's leading off for the Rangers. And then Michael Young and David Murphy, Blaylock, Kinsler, and Cruz in the middle of the lineup. Elvis Andrus, Pudge Rodriguez, and Craig Gentry to face Matt Palmer tonight.
And Matt Palmer, 8-1 as a starter this year for Mike Scioscia. And the Angels been very good. He sinks the fastball about 88, cuts it. Also has a good slow curveball, changeup, drops down different angles to create a better opportunity to be able to get the hitters out. Early in the game, though, we talked about it before as a starter, that first inning or so has been the inning in which he tries to fight that command. But once he gets on a roll, very, very effective. So look forward to see what Matt can do early in this game, especially coming back to the rotation.
Defensively for the Angels tonight, Juan Rivera, Torrey Hunter, Gary Matthews in the outfield. Figgins, Ibar is tourist Kendry Morales around the infield. Mike Napoli is catching Matt Palmer tonight.
I'll tell you what, this defense for the Angels has been unbelievable and consistent. Right there, one of the best. My opinion right now, we'll get a lot, if not should get the Gold Glove for the shortstop position in the American League. Tremendous range, a great arm, making the routine plays, which Mike Scioscia wanted at him come out of spring training.
Sean Figgins played short, played second, played the outfield. Now he's one of the best third basemen in baseball. First pitch of the ball game to Julio Bourbon, taken for strike one. Bourbon hitting .309. He's DHing for the Rangers, and maybe the Rangers have sent Josh Hamilton home. He's just not going to be able to go here in the next couple of days. Probably shut him down for the rest of the season.
Nerve issue in his lower back. It's very difficult for him to yell swing at all. I mean, they were wondering if he could come back and be a big part of this lineup, which is so important for Ron Washington, but he just couldn't do it after that one game at home against the Tampa Bay Rays.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Bourbon. Hamilton tried to come back, just couldn't go. Michael Young was able to come back, and he's on deck. Three and 2 to Bourbon. Last night, Sean O'Sullivan was the winning pitcher for the Angels. Tonight, Matt Palmer looks for his 11th of the year. And a line drive base hit for Bourbon to start the game. Cutting it off Gary Matthews. He'll hold him to a single.
Matt Palmer with a very good move to first base is going to be challenged here early on by Bourbon, who has 19 stolen bases.
Not only a good move, but a guy in Palmer who certainly throws to first a lot.
Pretty quick to the plate, too. What do you want? If you can hold the baseball, if you're a pitcher, hold it, stop the momentum of a base stealer, you can negate that running game.
First base coach for the Rangers, Gary Pettis, one of the great base stealers of all time for the Angels.
We talk about a guy who was fast. Zero fun when he got on base.
Michael Young batting for Texas. Gary Pettis held the Angels' all-time stolen base record until Figgy broke it.
He's a guy, too, that, as I recall, facing him a number of years, really studied the pitches and their moves to first, how quick they were, how many times you would look over the first base, all those little things to be able to get a better chance to get a jump against you.
And he made some spectacular catches right here on this field out in center field with the Angel uniform on. Pettis was a great player. There goes Bourbeau, and the Angels pitch out and get him. Perfectly done by Palmer, Napoli, and the tag at second base, plus the call of the pitch out.
Mike Scioscia so good about getting a read. See, when we talk about Bourbeau, 19 stolen bases, still a young base there. Probably tipped it off going back to the base and easily get him on that pitch out. Now that was executed perfectly. A pitch out, you're supposed to give a good throw to the catcher where he's going to catch it and throw at the same position. Able to get that throw in the eye bar for the out.
Now 2-1 to Michael Young.
Key is you saw Mike Scioscia put a couple pickoffs over the first, see if he's going to tip, if he's going to go, and as soon as he felt that that was a pitch he was going to run on, pitch out.
And a shot up the middle deflects off of Palmer to his Turris for the out. 2 out in the first inning. And Matt slowed it down a little bit.
He's got a little smile on his face, too. It's all about getting that fielding percentage up. Even if it hits your body, you still get a part in that put out.
He has an assist. Play goes 1-4-3. It
does have a tendency to get your heart palpitating a little bit when that line drive up the middle.
David Murphy hits a fly ball. Right center field, coming over Torrey Hunter. And Torrey makes the catch. That's it for the Rangers in the top of the first. The Angels coming to bat, no score. The Angels have Figgins, Ibar, and Hunter at the top of the order tonight. Vladdy back in the cleanup spot. Juan Rivera, Kendry Morales after that. Then is Turris, Matthews, and Napoli facing Derek Holland of the Rangers.
Well, the Angels is 5 runs away from the all-time club record for runs scored, so look for that offense to get going. And a number of the everyday players in this lineup today, the Halo is going to get to tough with Derek Holland, who can rush that fastball at times at 95, settles around 92, also with a slider.
Figgy leads off for the Angels. Looking to finish the season over 300. He's hitting .298. Chopper to third base and foul. 1 ball, 1 strike to Sean Figgins. Dino Ebel picked up that foul ball and tossed it up into the seats. Dino's done just a great job as the Angels' third base coach and seems to somehow even get a little better every year. Nobody that I've ever talked to seems to know the outfielder's arms better than Dino.
He just loves to talk about the game of baseball, and he's such a good feel for when to send a base runner, when not. Hey, a guy might have a strong arm in the outfield, but he might not charge the ball real well. Might not be able to go to his left or his right effectively, and he realized that, and that's how he dictates when he's going to send him home. I mean, you look at Nelson Cruz, he talked about him a number of times. He said this guy's got an above average arm out in right field, and when he's coming up on the ball, no chance you're going to try to take the extra base.
Fouled back by Figgy, still 2-2.
He's got one of the best arms, probably the top 5 arms in the American League. Now again, when he charges the ball effectively, it's difficult to even get that extra base, but if he's going to his left, not quite as effective. So that's the time when he might take an extra chance to send a base runner.
Figgy hits one well into left field. Murphy has to go way back on that ball to the wall and caught it. Wow. Figgins almost hit that one out to left field. And Figgy's going to say, oh man, I almost had it.
I'll tell you what, that was an amazing play because Murphy's playing shallow. On the full run, reaches up at the wall, running out with extended arms, smashes into the wall.
It might have hurt his arm a little bit.
Oh, might have got out too. What a play.
Yeah,
it's like he drew it up.
Yeah, one batter, one out, so you're on your way. Eric Ibar now takes strike one. Usually you'll see the outfielder hold that ball up for the umpire, but I think Murphy might have hurt his arm a little bit running into that wall.
So I'm thinking that would have been his first home run hitting from the right side.
Tap down to second base, and Kinsler makes the play to retire Ibar. 2 down. Two out, Torrey Hunter coming up. Torrey also right around the 300 mark at 297. One and one to Torrey. Two out, nobody on.
Before last start for Derek Holland, he decided to go over his hands over his head as far as the full windup to be able to generate some more velocity on the fastball. Better location with his pitches. You see right there. Was a guy who used to hold his hands right around chest high and made the adjustment with Mike Maddox, the pitching coaches, to see if he could have better command in that zone.
Maddox has done a super job with the Ranger pitchers this year. Still 3-2 to Torrey Hunter. The numbers certainly tell a good story for the Ranger pitchers this year.
I mean, look at the difference. Nearly a run per game. That allows your manager to do so many different things offensively. You can bunt more, you can steal bases, but when you're giving up that many runs, you can't afford to give up an out, a productive out, to advance a base runner.
Chopped foul by Hunter, fielded by Young in foul territory. And Michael Young flips a souvenir up. 3-2 to Torrey Hunter.
I remember there was a time the Angels, when they were a pretty good club but not a consistently winning club, they didn't have the pitching. When you have starting pitching, you have a chance to win every single night.
Strike three as Torrey takes a called third strike, and the Angels go out in order. Torrey asks Dan Iasanya about it. No score after 1 inning.
Great looking family out for the ball game tonight. She wants that hat.
And they're waving. They're calling on top of this pitch. Just right here, as you can see by the grip there, the two-seam fastball, running it in on the inside corner on Tori. Might have been a little low. Definitely looked like it got the inside corner, though. The rotation of a two-seam fastball as compared to a four-seam fastball is pretty significant.
Blaylock leads off the second inning for the Rangers against Matt Palmer. One ball, one strike to Blaylock. After this series, after tomorrow's game, Texas stays on the road and finishes their season in Seattle. Blaylock lines one to center, and Hunter runs it down. Good jump by Torrey, as always, it seems.
Exactly. I mean, how many times have we said that great first step by Torrey? This ball was hit right on the line. First step, come in, able to make that play. Plus, a lefty batter will have that sink action at the very end. Himself in perfect position, in line again for another Gold Glove, which will be 9 in a row for Torrey.
Ian Kinsler for the Rangers, hitting .253, but he has 31 home runs. He has a swing where it looks like he's trying to hit it out every time up.
And with an uppercut swing, going through those pitchers' meetings, you got to believe elevated fastball is a very effective pitch on him. And then when you get him to look for that, then you throw the breaking pitch on the outside corner.
One ball, one strike to Kinsler. Well, maybe they've gotten a book on Kinsler. Last year, he hit .319. This year, he's hitting .253.
I mean, if you're the Rangers, though, you take that dip in the batting average for run production. When you look at 31 home runs, 85 RBI out of your second baseman, that's significant. Although last year, 102 RBIs. He's a guy that can drive in runs, power from a position generally known for contact hitter and a good fielder.
3-2 to Kinsler, who fouls one straight back. These games might not feel like big games right now with the division race all settled, but for some of these guys like Matt Palmer, who are getting a chance to start, it is big. Kinsler fouls one away. Palmer loved to add to his year, which has already been out of sight as far as what was expected from him this year. He's gone 10-2.
I mean, when you think about it, where would this club be without Matt Palmer? He's been very effective out of the bullpen, too.
He walks Kinsler here with one out. Nelson Cruz coming up. Tonight, the Angels have started pretty close to their regular lineup. But last night, for instance, Chris Pettit, first major league hit. For the young guys, these are important games, these last few. They're probably calling home when they see the lineup card and, hey, I'm in there tonight.
No question.
Broken back, Cruz bounces one out towards second. It's just hits the Ibar from an almost impossible position, and they get the double play. What a turn by Ibar.
That is unbelievable. That's why he's a Gold Glover. What a flip, too, by Meister. Spins, boots, throws a rocket over the first. 4-6-3 double play. You talk about perfection. That was it.
Vlad leads off the second inning for the Angels and takes ball one from Derek Holland. Guerrero hitting .296, 15 home runs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Early on in this game, Holland using a pretty effective changeup too, going along with that slider and his fastball.
Vlad bounces it out to Ian Kinsler. 1 out in the bottom of the second. Juan Rivera coming up. Now the Rangers really needed a big September push, but they've just been okay. 13 and 14 this month. But it's going to look probably a lot bigger in the end, Gooby, than it was all season long. Right now, the Angels have an 8-game lead, but that really doesn't tell the story.
Well, at one point, Texas was in first place. They were, playing so well. They were 9-3 against the Angels in a 12-game span, and then he's playing good baseball. They were hitting a lot of home runs against the Angel pitchers. They're a tough team. They're definitely on the rise. There's no question if they can get things settled as far as ownership and financial situation. It's going to be difficult to keep some of these guys around.
You read about that in the papers, especially if you're in Dallas, but do the players concern themselves with that? Think about that, talk about that?
I went through a similar situation when our owner in Kansas City, Ewing Kaufman, passed away. Went into a charitable fund, and we had a number of people running until David Glass had purchased the ball club. And there was some issues. That's why we were running and making a chance, running for a division title there in 94, 95. And then they kept letting all the high-price guys go away because they couldn't afford them. So there's always that concern. And then when you go into that route, it's constantly rebuilding mode. It's tough to keep the fan base.
0-2 to Rivera, who taps one back to the mound. And Holland gets him.
Now it's time for our jack-in-the-box outside the box. There's no chance you're going to get a double play on this chopper up the middle. Meister flips it there. Eric Ibar, spin move, gets him at first. Taken out by Kinsler, but still got a great throw off. That's one of the best double plays I've seen all year.
That's an unbelievable pivot.
And smart play again by Meister. He's so intelligent on that baseball field. He thought about going to step on the bag, but the only chance you get is a force out, but he flips to Ibar, who has that rocket for an arm. He's able to turn the double play.
0-1 to Kendry Morales. Pop fly right side toward the line, Nelson Cruz. And that's it for the Angels. They go in order in the second. After 2 innings at the Big A, no score tonight. Fans, the Angels have won the West, so come celebrate during the postseason rally tomorrow night, immediately following the game. The game starts at 3 o'clock. The event includes Angel players and alum, the U.S. Army parachute team Golden Knights, a spectacular fireworks show to close out the evening. It's going to be a great night here tomorrow night. It's the postseason rally tomorrow.
You going to be all right for me to leave around the 8th inning, go out and hang out with the Golden Knights and jump out and say hi to you?
I think that's a great idea.
That would be completely comfortable jumping out of an airplane with a parachute. There's no doubt.
No need for training either. Just grab one, put it on, and jump. 0-2 to Elvis Andrus. You can do that.
Yes. I just throw you a baseball when I'm on the way down, Rory, so you can catch it.
It's a good idea. Oh, he was trying to get out of the way, and the ball hit the
fair
handle.
Ball.
That hit the handle of the bat, and I think it is.
It's got to be a fair ball.
Here comes the home plate umpire, Dan Iasanya. And what is he calling? He's talking to the first base umpire, Larry Vanover, and it's an out. It sounded like that ball hit the handle of the bat as he tried to get out of the way.
Well, even if it hits your hand, if
knob.
you're making a swing,
I thought
your hand's part of the bat.
I thought it hit the knob, but we'll see on the replay.
Well, you're talking about an effective pitch. You know, Howard's Exmo is coming inside, hit right on the knob of the bat.
It did.
Boy, you're way ahead of the count and you go inside.
You can hear the crack. Yep. Right off the knob. And it's a fair ball. That's bad luck if you're Elvis Andrus.
As a pitcher, that's almost as good as getting a pop-up back to you.
Hudge pulls one to deep left field. That sends Rivera back, and on the warning track, he makes the catch. It's been quite an inning for Matt Palmer.
Well, it's an out.
Yeah, they both are.
That's hard to believe. You hit one off the knob of the bat, a dribble to the first baseline for an out, and then you hit one about as far as you can hit a ball and stay in the yard. Great play again by Juan Rivera in left field. Juan's done an outstanding job defensively for the club in left field. That strong arm, but covering a lot of ground, too.
Palmer's thrown 4 pitches in this inning and gotten those 2 outs. Craig Gentry now for the Rangers. Gentry is 1 for 8 since joining Texas. Oh, 0-2 to Craig Gentry. One ball, 2 strikes. Gentry playing center field for the Rangers tonight. Breaking ball popped up. Is Turris backing out? And that's the inning for the Rangers. They go in order. No score heading to the bottom of the 3rd. Bottom of the third, no score as we look into the Angel dugout tonight. Meiser as Turris leads off. The Angels have gone quietly so far, 6 up, 6 down through the first couple of innings. The Cleveland Indians finishing up a very disappointing season. Split a doubleheader with the White Sox today, but also learned that their manager Eric Wedge had been fired. Gooby, he's going to stick around and manage the last few games. Ground ball to Michael Young. Retires his Turris. Fans, once again, the postseason rally tomorrow after the Angels-Rangers game. And there will be a most spirit contest, avid fan contest. One lucky winner will have 4 tickets to the American League Division Series. For more information, visit angelsbaseball.com.
Roy, you got your red shirt, red slacks ready?
I'd like to win that, actually.
Everybody looking forward to that, seeing that.
Everybody has to have a goal at the end of the season.
I think you're at the top as far as that avid fan.
So far, I understand that I am leaving, but there's still the rally tomorrow. 0-1 to Gary Matthews. And Gary bounces one out to Kinsler. Getting back to the Indians for a minute, Gooby. Eric Wedge, tough season for the Cleveland Indians.
You know, I coming into the season, I actually, especially when they got Kerry Wood to be able to close the games out, I picked them to win that division.
I remember.
And I felt they had all the components. You know, you had Grady Sizemore got hurt, missed a big portion of the season. Travis Hafner never came back to the player he was a few seasons ago. So they had some injuries, and the pitching fell apart. Carmona didn't pitch well for him, so they had so many issues. And Eric Wedge, you know, he did the best he could under the circumstances with the guys he had. But you know what? Somebody always is going to be the one to take the blame. But it is surprising that he's going to stick around the rest of the season. I've never seen that before at the major league level.
No, I couldn't recall that either. A manager being fired and then saying, well, I'll just manage till the end of the year. I mean, granted, it's only a few days, but still, that's an unusual situation.
And you wonder if you completely lose control of players at that particular point. But I'll tell you what, the thing about Eric Wedge, he's a strong-willed human being. I don't think he's going to take any slackers at this point. He's going to have them playing hard all the way to the end.
0-2 to Napoli. Cleveland is 20 games out of first place. In a division they thought they might win. 1-2 to Napoli. And that's the hardest thing of all, isn't it? When you think you're going to have a good team and then you do not.
Well, you envision being a club that's very competitive, and when you get a lead, they blew some leads too early in the season. When you get that negative attitude is difficult to overcome.
Napoli hit one off the end of the bat to center field. Gentry puts it away, and the Angels have gone 9 up, 9 down the first time through the order. No score after 3 innings. From the Big A, ex-Angel and Ranger Nolan Ryan had 2 years with 20-plus wins. Who was the first Angel pitcher to win 20?
Dean Chance.
It has to be tonight, doesn't it?
Tonight. They got to help me out. Please.
You almost have to get this one. But I'm not a positive, though. We can look it up, but I'd rather wait.
I know he was a 20-game winner. I know that.
Yes. I'd rather wait till we actually see it on the screen. Top of the fourth, top of the order.
I got a number of Dean Chance baseball cards that fans have sent in to me since we've decided to go with every answer being Dean Chance for our trivia.
We'll have to get Dean out here and just have him in the booth during the fourth inning one of these nights.
That'd be perfect.
0-2 to Julio Bourbon leading off the fourth inning, and you can get him to autograph your baseball cards.
That'd be perfect. These are vintage cards.
Then you could put them up in your house for every question we've had. Dean put his card up, most stolen bases in a season, whatever it was. People come in and say, that guy must have been the greatest player in the history of the game.
Talk about Bo Jackson being the best athlete. It was Dean Chance. He could do it all.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Bourbon. He has the only hit in the game, Julio Bourbon. Started this ball game with a single.
Think about it. Matt Palmer's given up a hit and a walk, yet he's faced the minimum amount of batters so far through 3.
And on the other side, Holland has a perfect game through 3. And according to you, he's been thinking perfect game since strike one of the first batter.
No question. If anybody ever says that on the mound, I didn't even know until the 7th inning. They're not telling you the truth. I get 1 out, I get a no-no, I get a shot. I was generally out of that stretch position after the first batter, just for fun.
Just so you can show your move over the first, right?
Yep.
3-2 to Bourbon. Well, if you thought about pitching a no-no after a third of an inning, what were you like in about the 7th inning if you had one?
Well, I couldn't breathe for one. And,
ground ball right to second as Turris drops it, picks it up, and gets Bourbon.
I remember, sitting around when Brett Saberhagen had a no-hitter. And he wanted everyone to talk to him all the way through, and so I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, when I got late in the game like that, I didn't want everybody to avoid me, because then I would start thinking about it even more. So
makes you more nervous.
So I'd rather have hey, come on over here to sing with me. And then he'll go, no, you're not smelling too good right now. It's about 800 degrees here in Kansas City.
Michael Young up there for the Rangers. Young grounded out to second his first time up.
Palmer's got a great pace he's working at tonight. Not wasting any time in between pitches.
Right back up the middle. Ibar behind second. Retires Young. Were you generally superstitious as a player?
The only thing I ever did, I wore a T-shirt underneath my uniform. Was always a black T-shirt of some rock concert I'd been at. That's the only thing I did. I wasn't, let me take that back. I had pancakes before every game.
Did you?
And I had I went to a sandwich shop to get a sandwich before every game. So, yeah, maybe I was, after all. I wasn't like Wade Boggs, I guess. I had to have chicken before every game.
Did you ever run into any other pitchers around the league that put on a black shirt and went and got pancakes before their game?
Especially with Black Sabbath on the front of my T-shirt was perfect.
Fly ball into center, and Torrey Hunter makes the play. David Murphy is out. The Rangers are gone in order. No score.
Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. Bottom of the fourth, top of the order for the Angels. Good crowd on a beautiful night at the Big A. Sean Figgins leads off the inning for the Angels.
Eric Hollins liked pitching at the Big A. He had that 9-inning shutout early in the season. So far in this game has been perfect.
Figgy almost hit it out first time up from the right side of the plate. Murphy went back and took a home run away from him. That one's headed to the gap in right center field. And there is the first Angel hit of the night. Figgins going for two. Gentry's throw will not get him. Double for Sean Figgins.
That's a couple of great at-bats in this game for Sean Figgins. Hits that ball to left field, nearly a home run. And now this shot in the right center fielder, Howard Exmo, shows the fastball up, four-seam fastball. It's a good part of the bat, and it's ran away from Gentry there in center field. And Sean Figgins, with tremendous wheels, gets into second base.
First base runner of the night for the Angels. Eric Ibar, the batter. Bunts, foul.
This is one thing you concern yourself with here as you get closer and closer to the playoffs. That ball hit him in the hand as he got around the bunt. Mike Scioscia wants to have it looked at right away.
Athletic trainer Adam Nebula comes out to make sure Eric's fingers are all right. Well, that would just be the worst kind of luck, just to be playing these last few games and have a key player or two get hurt.
Well, it got him, but yet he was already asking the umpire if it was a hit by pitch more than anything else. So you got to believe he feels pretty good. At least you hope.
Well, you have to think if it really got him, he would be howling in pain too on the fingers.
He's around here to bunt. He definitely made the bunt attempt. Looks like he's going to be okay. See Michael Young in way in at third base. They're assuming it's a bunt situation. Ibar, one of the best bunters in baseball.
And the count 0-1 to Eric.
So how close Michael Young is playing up, thinking the bunt. But also has to play back in case he plays a third.
He bunts toward first. Blaylock cannot tag him. That's a base hit for Ibar. Well, you knew the worst that could happen if he got to bunt down is you'd get Figgins to third, plus maybe he'll get a hit out of it.
That's his 18th bunt hit of the season. Leads the American League, and he's also right there at the top as far as sacrifice bunts. So he does it all for Mike Scioscia. That's a perfect bunt. Just enough, far enough away. With a left-hander, he's always going to fall over towards the third baseline, so it's a more difficult play for him to be able to get over in time to be able to be there to field that throw for the first baseman.
First and third, nobody out for Torrey Hunter. Ground ball in the hole at shortstop. Off the glove of Andrus. It'll be a base hit. Figgins scores from third. 1-0 Angels. RBI for Torrey Hunter.
And this offense is starting to click right now, which is an important thing. When you go into the postseason, you want everyone starting to swing the bat. And Torrey, starting the last few games, hitting the ball hard. Andrus almost able to make that play. But off the glove for a base hit RBI for Torrey.
Good try by Elvis Andrus, who may have been able to get a force play at second if he had come up with it. You mentioned Eric Ibar, who right now, Gooby, is hitting .304. He's out there at second base. Without the 18 bunt hits, if you take those bunt hits away from him, he's hitting .278. So that's 26 points higher with the bunt hits. Makes you wonder why more players don't bunt.
That's one thing that Alfredo Griffin's so good at that. I remember facing Alfredo a number of times. He was a great bunter. You put pressure on everybody, the infielders in the corners come up, so it allows you to get some other hits too. Alfredo was unbelievable that he handled that bat so well. Bunt, so then you're bringing your third baseman as a pitcher. You're thinking that line, you rush pitches.
Vladdy hits one in the air into center field, coming over Gentry. Ibar tagging, going to third, and he is out at third base. Good throw by Gentry in center field, gets Eric Ibar.
Boy, by the time I get that out of my mouth, he had a great throw to Sean Figgins at second base. He's got an above-average arm, particularly for a center fielder. He got himself in great throwing position. You see him underneath there, catching the ball by his throwing arm, and then a perfect throw to third base. Getting Ibar. You see the tag being applied before the foot got in. Well, I'll tell you, that's a long, strong throw from Gentry out in center field.
Quite a double play turned by the Rangers. 2 out, Hunter at second and Rivera at the plate. Michael Young, who's been a great shortstop, now the third baseman, makes the nice catch and tag.
You see the throw in there and the tag before the foot got in. A lot of times you'll see a third baseman that pretend they're not even getting the throw into third base and be able to apply that tag, but Michael Young looked that all the way into his glove.
Two and 0 to Juan Rivera. His first assist from the outfield.
Well, with an arm like that, he's going to get a number of them before he's done playing. It's impressive, his arm strength. And to get yourself in that proper throwing position.
Good play all the way around by the Texas center fielder. And there's a line drive base into left field by Rivera. Here comes Hunter to the plate. And Torrey is safe. The Angels get one more and lead 2-0. RBI for Juan Rivera. Number 87.
Well, what a solid season Juan Rivera is having, both in the field and at the plate. Great run production. Not a bad throw by Murphy out in left field, too. Dino Weeble always aggressive. Particularly with 2 outs, you're going to take that shot. Left-handed throw from the outfield has a tendency to run back towards first base side.
Kendry Morales takes strike one. Kendry with 105 runs batted in. One ball, one strike to Morales, who hit a fly ball to right his first time up. Derek Holland started this inning with a perfect game, but he's given up a couple of runs here in the fourth inning. Now Matt Palmer has a lead. He's given up only 1 hit. On the ground to Blaylock, and that'll be the inning. But the Angels score twice. Juan Rivera knocks one in. It's 2-0 Halos. Now, to answer the Aflac trivia question. Nolan Ryan had 2 years with 20-plus wins. Who was the first Angel pitcher to win 20? It was the great Dean Chance.
Yes.
You were finally right.
Yes. Way to go, guys in the truck. Matt Lip tightened me up, our director.
15 complete games that year. The batter here in the 5th inning is Andrew Jones for the Rangers.
Roy, that was just sheer brilliance right there. Dean Chance. Knew it all along.
You were right. If you go with him every single night, eventually, you'll be right.
Strategy.
Jones is hitting for Blaylock. One ball, one strike to Andrew Jones. One and two. In the AL Central, Detroit beat Minnesota today, 7-2. So the Tigers are getting closer. They are now 3 games up in the Central with 4 games to play.
The Tigers play the White Sox in the end, the last 3 games, and the Twins play the Royals, but they'll have to face Zach Greinke one of those games. So it's going to be tough for the Twins now. They needed to win all 4 of those games. That doubleheader set them back now, 3 games back.
They play the Tigers again tomorrow. The Twins play the Tigers tomorrow. Strikeout of Andrew Jones for Matt Palmer to start the 5th inning.
Dude, Andrew Jones still chasing that breaking pitch. This time was elevated in the strike zone, but still went after it. That backup spin on the slider for Matt Palmer, but still a swing and a miss by Andrew Jones.
1 out, Ian Kinsler at the plate. Kinsler, a 30-30 guy this year, home runs and stolen bases. .31 his career high in home runs. 2 balls, no strikes. Three and 0 to Kinsler. Matt Palmer has given up just 1 hit, and it was a leadoff single to Julio Bourbon, who got thrown out trying to steal second. But now walks Kinsler with 1 out. The second walk given up by Palmer tonight.
You can see that approach he was trying to elevate that fastball with that uppercut swing. Going inside with it, fastball up. Tom Kinsler selective. You know, when you think about location of that pitch, strike zone is supposed to be for the knees, the letters. That was pretty close.
Both walks he's given up have been to Kinsler. Last time he did that, he got Nelson Cruz to hit into a double play.
But you see right here, it's right here at the letter. That should be a strike. It certainly got a lot of the plate. Right at the belt. But so many times that, you know, if I threw that pitch, I would go in there. We have a guy working in, looking at the video right now, try to say, is that a strike? And he go, what did the umpire call? A ball. He goes, well, it was a ball. I said, what do you mean? It was right down the middle. He goes, what did he call it? He said it was a ball. That's what it was. Wasn't real happy about that explanation.
Cruz pops one foul, maybe a play. Oh, off the roof of the dugout. Well, I guess that's the way it was.
It didn't make you feel any better, I know that. Sometimes it's all you want is a little reinforcement of the way you were feeling.
Well, the strike zone for high strikes, it just seems like it kind of disappeared in baseball.
Well, there was a variation between National League umpires and American League umpires before they combined. Now, what we see now, it was Major League umpires.
That ball gets away from Kendry Morales, but Kinsler stays put.
Strike zone for the American League umpires, generally higher strike, and then the National League was a lower strike. More of a power league at that point in the National League. You know, you're dealing with a pitcher hitting, and the number 8 hitter was more of a situational type hitter because he didn't get a lot of strikes with the pitcher on deck. But it's all the same now.
Still, if you throw a pitch down the middle of the plate, right about at the belt buckle, that sure seems like it should be a strike. But many times it's not called a strike.
Most times. But again, you know that you have a book on an umpire. No matter who's behind the plate, is he a low ball umpire? Is he a high ball? Is he called the inside pitch, the outside pitch? It's up to you to make that adjustment as a pitcher.
One ball, one strike to Nelson Cruz here. Kinsler at first base. And Darren Oliver loosening up in the Angel bullpen. Ground ball right to Ibar. And the Angels on a double play. The second time tonight, Palmer has walked Kinsler and gotten Cruz to hit into a double play. 2-0 Angels in the 5th.
Perfect turn, 6-4-3, and the last time was 4-6-3 double play for Nelson.
Meiser Turris leads off the bottom of the 5th inning for the Angels. And grounds one wide of third, backhanded by Elvis Andrus. Boy, that's a pretty good try by Elvis, but he's not able to get Meiser Turris. Still, that's a heck of a play with Meiser running to make it that close.
Well, that's a strong arm, too. We know Ibar's got a great arm, but that's an amazing play. That's a play that we see Dirk Jeter make. That ground ball into the outfield grass, jump and throw, and still have a good amount of velocity on that throw.
Andrew Jones stays in the game at first base. This is the 5th time in his career he's played first base, and they've all been this year. Gary Matthews now for the Angels. The Boston Red Sox, who clinched their spot in the playoffs last night. Well, I don't know how much they celebrated, but maybe they did. They lost 12-0 today to the Blue Jays.
They did have a celebration. Some guys came back.
Lined into right field. Nelson Cruz makes the catch. And that retires Gary Matthews.
Some guys who had left that game because they came back and watched the end of the game here. You know, see how this game turned out between the Rangers and the Angels. And once the Rangers lost, I put the Red Sox in the playoffs. They had a closed-door celebration. About 90% of the guys made it back to watch it.
That's a pretty good turnout considering it was after 1 a.m. and they had to come back to the park to do it.
Hey, to get into the postseason is getting into the postseason any way you get in. Remember a few years ago, St. Louis got into the playoffs, were struggling. Then they got hot. Beat the Mets in a great series that was. And then, of course, took on the Tigers and won that one.
Mike Napoli up there, 1 out, 1 on. That one rolls away from Pudge far enough for his Turris to get to second. We're going to hear an awful lot of people talking about the keys to the Angel Red Sox series coming up, but right now, with still a few games left, in your mind, give me 1 or 2 things.
I think the key for the Angels to be successful clearly is that game 1. And I think they have a big advantage as far as starting pitching. And they haven't been able to say that against this Red Sox club too often going into the postseason. And I think depth on the offensive side, the Angels have an advantage too. Overall team defense, certainly team speed, although Ellsbury can fly top of the order. Overall speed for the Angels, that's another advantage.
And the Red Sox catching has not thrown out a whole lot of base stealers this year. 1-1 to Mike Napoli. In the place the Red Sox are probably strongest, Gooby, immediately you think of their bullpen.
Bullpen, playoff successes, home field advantage. When they play those 2 games at Fenway, if they do play 2 games at Fenway, that's a huge advantage, playing at their home park, where they've been over the last 7-8 years the best team in baseball as far as playing at home.
Napoli swings and misses and goes down swinging. Well, today, Jared Weaver was awarded the Nick Adenhart Award as the Angels Pitcher of the Year. Sean Figgins, recognizing the Angels played with Adenhart on their minds most of the season.
Well, it's tough because he's been going through it the whole season. I keep saying when somebody loses their life that's special to you, it hurts. It hurts the whole season. And when you come to this ball field, you just realize you never know when you can leave this earth. And the best thing about this team, we have overcome a lot of it, but we still realize that he's in our heart, and baseball is secondary. Just come and play the game and enjoy it, whether it's going good or going bad.
Figgy plays that way, and he drives in a run with a base hit into left field to make it 3-0 Angels. Sean Figgins was wearing the Nick Adenhart t-shirt when we talked about that. And earlier tonight, the Angels, voting on their Pitcher of the Year, awarded what is now known as the Nick Adenhart Award to Jared Weaver. And this is the first time, obviously, that the Angels Pitcher of the Year has won an award called the Nick Adenhart Award.
That's a very special too, and really Jared, such Nick was going to be living with Jared too this season. I mean, it's got to be extra special for Jared to be able to win that award. He's been outstanding for the club this entire season. Jared has.
You know, I know that Jared will treasure that very much. I think of all the Angel pitchers, especially the starting staff, I think Jared was closest to Nick. It hurt a lot of the guys who were in AAA because they knew Nick a little bit better than some of the Angel players.
Well, you do. You get to know guys because you're on those buses and those long trips, those early morning flights. That's the thing. That's the key. Brandon Wood's going to pinch hit right now for Eric Ibar, who's played some outstanding defense once again. Hopefully he's okay.
Wood hitting for Ibar, fouls it back. You know, talking to Bobby Mitchell, the manager of the Salt Lake Bees, he mentioned that this was maybe a couple months ago. We chatted about it. He said, I think it hurt our team more than any other team in the Angels organization, just because of how close some of those guys were. And there's Mitch right there, managed Salt Lake this year. some of those guys, many of them, were that close to Aiden Hart. I can't imagine what that must have been like when they got the news. I mean, how happy they probably were for Nick, knowing he had pitched in the big leagues and done well. But then later on that night, you hear the devastating news.
Not an easy thing to do, to be able to relay that message to your team there and try to rally them, try to just, you know, the old saying, you just try to play that and go day to day. That's definitely what this club has done, both in the minor leagues and the big league level. Just go day to day, dealing with the emotions.
2-1 to Brandon Wood. Two balls, two strikes to Brandon. Three nothing Angels now in the bottom of the fifth. Full count, 3-2 to Brandon Wood. Pop fly right field, easy play for Nelson Cruz. The Angels get one run in the fifth, driven in by Sean Figgins. 3-0 Halos. Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. 3-0 Angels, sixth inning at the Big A tonight. Darren Oliver now in to pitch for the Halos. 5-1 this year, and Matt Palmer, after 5 terrific innings, in line for a win tonight.
The games he's been in, Darren Oliver, 60 games, an ERA under 3 at 2.83. Good fastball, 91-92. Big sweep and curveball and a changeup.
First batter, Elvis Andrus. Strike one. Well, a lot of changes now. Brandon Wood takes over at third base for the Angels, and Freddie Sandoval is playing second base. 0-1 to Elvis. Reggie Willits is in the ball game. He's in right field. Gary Matthews was there, but he shuffles over to center field. One ball, one strike to Andrus. There's Bobby Wilson, who is now behind the plate. Bunt try by Elvis, goes right up that line, then rolls foul.
That's one thing, you always got to pounce on that ball when it's rolling down the line like that, because there's a tendency to roll back into fair territory.
One ball, two strikes. Good crowd for this ball game tonight. Fans no doubt gearing up for the playoff series with the Red Sox. That should be something special.
You can't ask for anything better than that. Facing the Red Sox in that first round, perfect. That's what Mike Scioscia wants, a chance to redeem and get by them in the postseason. Well, you wonder going into that series who would be the favorite. People talking about, obviously the Red Sox, the World Championships here. 2000, they did it in 2004, 2007, so they've had success.
Well, it'd be very, very close, I think, Gooby. The records are almost identical as Andrus strikes out. The Angels have won 93 games. Boston's won 91. The Angels have the home field advantage, but the Red Sox have taken the Angels out over the last couple of years.
Boy, look at that. You just go back and, for history. And I think what you got to do, that's why we talk about the importance of Game 1. More than any other series going into the postseason to start with, the Angels and a chance to get that victory in Game 1 would be huge for them.
I'll tell you, you've been harping on Game 1 for the last few days. So obviously, in your mind, that's the biggest key to the series. If the Angels lose Game 1 at home to Boston, a lot of negative thoughts creep in. Well, if they win, if the Angels win, it's not the end of the world for the Red Sox, is it?
No, because all they got to do is, in their mind, is think about getting a split before they get those next two games at Fenway. That ball fouled right off the umpire.
Wow. Dan Iasanya shaking up a little bit. Well, he's smiling, so that's a good sign.
Well, we've seen that happen a number of times this year. Umpires getting hit by foul tips. Right here you can see Pudge. Great.
That's the
throat area. You have to hit off the face mask. Straight back.
Oh. Well, that will knock you back.
He's smiling, but I'll tell you what, that was kind of pretty good.
Well, just coincidentally, Pudge Rodriguez is the hitter. I'm sure Pudge has had the ball hit him just about everywhere, so he definitely can sympathize with the umpire.
And you get that foul tip in Game 1 right off the throwing hand. So he knows a lot about that.
Oh, 0-2 to Pudge Rodriguez. Okay, let's just turn it around then. Let's say the Angels win Game 1. Game 2 comes up at the Big A. Boston wins it. How crucial is that for the Angels to win Game 2 if they win Game 1?
Well, I mean, clearly on a short series like that, every game's important. But if they don't win that Game 1, the first thing every reporter is going to go into Mike Scioscia goes, is it because they have so much success? Do you feel you're out of the series? So many questions are going to be asked about that 0-4 mark in the postseason against the Red Sox. You win that game, that takes that away. Even if somehow the second game didn't go your way, then you go back into mode of, all we got to do is win 1 out of 2 in Fenway. We come back to Game 5 and we win it here at the Big A. But that Game 1, so important. That 5-game series is so tough. Sometimes in that Game 1 or even that first series, the better team doesn't necessarily always win either. Right. Last year, I felt the Angels were a much better club than the Red Sox overall.
Swing and a miss by Rodriguez. Strike 3. Darren Oliver gets back-to-back strikeouts. Do you people say things like, well, they just the Red Sox have the Angels number. Do you buy that one team can have somebody else's number?
No, I don't think so. Especially over the last few seasons, the Angels have played well against them during the regular season. Now, granted, there's a difference between the regular season and the postseason. But when you have some success, whether it's meaningful games or playoff games, you start to feel that you can do it. And I think this club right now has that determination. They've gotten over that hump as far as feeling that maybe they're not as good as the Red Sox. There's so many aspects of this Angel club that's better than the Red Sox, in my opinion. Depth of the team, speed, starting pitching, overall offense, huge advantage for the Angels at this point, because Red Sox are sputtering going into the postseason.
Craig Gentry up there for the Rangers, 0-2. Well, judging by the 3-game series the Angels played at Fenway about 10 days ago, it should be a heck of a series.
I don't think anybody's going to be able to breathe at all in that series.
Darren Oliver strikes out the side in order, and the Rangers are gone in the 6th. 3-0 Halos.
Time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. Inside Cheese gets the knob of the bat of Andrews. Can't locate a pitch any better than that. Gets a dribble to first base for the out. And that is our Coors Light Freeze Cam, brought to you by Frost Brew Coors Light.
Can't locate a pitch any better than that.
That's about as good as it gets. I'll tell you, if you're a pitcher, that's better than a strikeout by far.
Reggie Willett's batting for the Angels. This is Reggie's first at-bat tonight. We've been talking playoffs. Let's just for a second mention the National League West, where tonight the Rockies are winning big. The Dodgers are losing. 5-0 Padres in the 4th. 10-5 Colorado in the 7th. Willett's a little bloop to Kinsler for out number 1.
But I think when you look at it in the Dodgers' perspective, they're in the playoffs. At the very least, is the wild card. So maybe you don't have quite that edge. That's the time where, if the wild card was not in play, boy, that'd be pretty scary, because the Rockies played the Dodgers those last 3 games of the season at Dodger Stadium.
And if those scores hold up tonight, the Rockies will be within 2.5 of the Dodgers.
Well, Atlanta lost another tough one, too, so they've fallen now 4 games back in the wild card race.
Assuming Colorado wins. Vlad Guerrero up there. Vladdy 0 for 2 tonight. He pulls one foul left field side. Hit that ball a long way, but foul. 1 ball, 1 strike to Vlad Guerrero. Two and 1 to Vladdy. That camera is looking at that guy. Close up. 2 and 2 to Vladdy. Broken bat, bouncer to second base. Vlad's 0 for 3 tonight, 2 out in the 6th.
Boy, Holland had to get out of the way of that bat. Shattered in a couple different pieces. Well, this is going to be a great view in our Expo. Wow. Look how that bat is splintered. He's got the handle right in his hand, and then the rest of the bat goes flying by Derek Holland.
Now Juan Rivera. Fly ball right field. Nelson Cruz makes the play, and the Angels go out in order in the 6th inning. 3-0 Angels. Under the halo tonight, the Angels and Texas Rangers. Texas has only 1 hit in the game, and that was the leadoff hitter, the first batter in the ball game. The fans almost seeing a no-hitter tonight, but it's still a blissful night either way you look at it.
Well, guys, it's kicking back right now. And fans has got to be excited about the possibility of this playoff. We don't know exactly what day it's going to start, Wednesday or Thursday. It looks like it's going to start Thursday. That's the indication we're getting as far as that first game against the Red Sox.
Yeah, it looks like it. Jose Arredondo in now to pitch the 7th inning. Top of the 7th, top of the order. The only Ranger to have a hit tonight, Julio Bourbon. Then when he tried to steal second, the Angels pitched out and got him. Rob Quinlan in the ball game now. He's playing third base. So Brandon Wood has moved over to shortstop. Terry Evans takes over in right field for the Angels. Willits was out there, so he's moved over to left.
But what a job by Matt Palmer and Darren Oliver in this game so far. Darren's been fantastic. 3 strikeouts in 1 inning. Work.
Struck out the side in order after Palmer pitched shutout baseball for 5 innings.
What about Matt Palmer getting in there, getting an opportunity to start and going out and dealing like that?
He's had that kind of year, Gooby. Three and 1 to Julio Bourbon. So leadoff walk for Bourbon here in the 7th. Fans, the Angel Stadium team store has extended the sale.
All right, Rory.
Can you believe it?
Yes. I'm still waiting, Rory.
Still 30% off through tomorrow's Angel Ranger game. So stop by and pick up a jersey, a great looking hat, or a warm-up jacket, whatever you've had your eye on. Don't delay. The team store tomorrow, 30% off. Fly ball by Michael Young into right center field. Will be handled by Terry Evans. 1 out.
Well, I've been eyeing those couple of those All-Star shirts for next year. I mean,
have you?
30%. What do you think?
I think you should get in there and take advantage of that sale.
Not going to help out your friend here?
No, I'll probably get you maybe a shot glass or something. I think you're down to about $1.
Perfect, thank you.
David Murphy, the batter.
Boy, nice velocity on that fastball by Arredondo, 96. Granted, it was out of the zone. But that early in the season when he was up originally, the velocity wasn't there for the fastball.
Two balls, no strikes to Murphy. Jose Arredondo pitched an inning last night. He's back in there tonight. And still, Gooby has a shot at being on that postseason roster.
That certainly he's got to make an impression here in the end. We talked about guys in that bubble. There's probably about 2 spots that remain in question for that 25-man roster for Mike Socha to be able to go through, along with Tony Regans and the rest of the coaching staff. It's not easy to be able to pick that. Do they go with an extra arm out of that bullpen, or they get that extra bat to be able to come off the bench?
Good fastball there. 94 miles an hour on the black. 2-2. And strikes him out with the split.
Well, that sequence of pitches will certainly make an impression on your manager. It's a pretty good hitter in David Murphy. It's nasty, that split. Way out in front after popping that fastball at 94 to pitch before on the black. Now you can see that rotation of a split finger fastball as compared to a regular fastball. That was devastating.
2 out, Andrew Jones. That's for the 2nd time. He struck out his first time up. As we were talking about playoff teams, I guess since you're a Philly guy, we should mention that the Phillies clinched the NL East today.
Boy, I had no idea, Rory, they made it.
Really?
That's the first I heard.
Huh. 10-3 over Houston was the final score. That's surprising to me since you were talking about it earlier today.
It slipped my mind. That wouldn't bother me at all to see the Angels and Phillies in the World Series.
Well, no, because then you'd be conflicted.
As I always am.
Yep, that's true. If I've ever heard a person say, "What should I do?" more than you, I don't know who it is.
I'm reaching out for help from you, Rory. Like going down to the team store, it's 30% off. You can help me out.
I guess I could. I sure hope they have gift wrapping. Jones goes down swinging, and Arredondo gets back-to-back strikeouts. We head to the 7th inning stretch, 3-0. And now it's time for Lexus Pursuing Perfection. Matt Palmer, what a game tonight, Gooby.
Amazing, coming off out of that bullpen. Just thrown strike after strike. Just been dominant. His defense talked about a couple double plays, a 4-6-3 double play, 6-4-3 double play, and that is our Lexus Pursuing Perfection.
5 innings of one-hit shutout baseball for Matt. Kendry Morales leads off the bottom of the 7th inning, strike 1.
And he faced a minimum 15 batters in 5 innings.
Here's the 0-1 to Kendry. Fly ball, right center field, well hit. There's Gentry racing to the warning track, but he won't catch it. It's off the out-of-town scoreboard, and it's a double for Kendry Morales. That's the second hit tonight, making the first hit actually for Kendry. Good swing from the right side of the plate, and he thought he might have had a chance to get that one out of the ballpark.
Ball was hit well, centered that up. He's been such an amazing force for the offense here.
Rob Quinlan now getting a chance to bat for the first time tonight. The Angels with runners in scoring position tonight, 4 for 7. Holland looks Morales back. One ball, one strike. Rob Quinlan hitting .236. He's also hit a couple of home runs this year. And when they've asked Q to do it, he's played a credible first base at times.
Well, Rob's a valuable guy for this club. Like you said, he mentioned he's played a couple different positions for Mike Socha, does a solid job. Come off the bench, maybe a quality at bat, knows his role. That's the most important thing.
Hits lefties extremely well, too.
Think about a guy like John Lester, probably will start game 2. You know, it gives Mike some options. Lester with that great cut fastball. He's been throwing the ball exceptionally hard before he got hit with a line drive the other day. It set him back himself. So you got him and Beckett not 100% going into the postseason.
Well, the Angels know what that's like. A couple of years ago, they went into the postseason against Boston, definitely not 100%, and really had it handed to them, didn't they?
Well, you think about even last year, Meister Sturris was unavailable. So key components were not there for the Angels. And that's part of the reason why they were unable to advance last year. But, you know, everyone goes through those, you know, injuries at the end of the season. It's a long, long year. But this year, the Angels are ready.
Well, they'll have to be ready to face some guys who, when they are healthy, are very good pitchers.
Beckett, one of the best postseason pitchers in this era. Very, very good. Former MVP of the World Series when he was a Marlin. Lester's throwing the ball exceptionally well. The guy that's been dominant for him has been Clay Buchholz. He threw a no-hitter a few years ago.
Quinlan takes a called third strike for the first out in the inning. Yeah, it's a little bit ironic. Buchholz right now, probably their most effective pitcher at the moment.
Exactly. Wakefield, he's had some issues with his back, and the Angels have done well against Wakefield anyhow. But Daisuke is the wild card in this.
Yes,
He's
he looked
pretty
awfully
well.
good against the Angels.
Well, that guy never gives in. He'll throw 3 or 4 pitches out of the zone to set up situations. His numbers with the bases loaded, it's unreal. Last 20 batters, I think it was, with the bases loaded, he's got them all out.
Wow.
So he doesn't give in. He pitches around when he feels he has to.
Gary Matthews takes a strike. Gary's 0 for 2 tonight. That's unfortunate if you get the seat right behind him.
Well, there's supposed to be no obstructive views at the stadium, but the lady behind has that nice military hat, the black one that we were giving away just the other day. That was the key for it.
But he certainly did get the memo that we would prefer if everyone would wear the logo to the ballpark.
Well, they're still looking for that avid fans. He was looking around.
Yeah. Well,
look at that.
I hope I can see this game.
That's perfect. Boy, that'd be a great look for you to drive home with that.
You'd certainly know where I was at all times.
Go low with your red slacks and your red shirt. That'd be perfect.
Oh, he turned it off. Or maybe that's a different one. I'm not sure. Yep.
Oh, man.
As you said about the horse in Texas, he certainly demands the utmost respect.
Yes, no question. Captain Ranger. I miss him.
There's a shot into left field by Matthews, and that one's going to one-hop the wall and go over the wall. Ground rule double for Gary Matthews to drive in a run.
Tell you what, Gary's starting to swing the bat very well himself. Well, he's going to be a key guy coming off the bench for Mike Socha. He showed that he could hit off the bench. 4 for 9 as a pinch hitter this year. Now getting some more quality at bats. Here, this is that 4-seam fastball that was elevated. Different rotation of the baseball. 4-seam is compared to a 2-seam fastball. That was up and it got crushed.
The Rangers are going to change pitchers here. 4-0 Angels. Gave up only one hit. He's 8-1 as a starter, and he's the pitcher of record right now. Angel pitchers have faced only one over the minimum. Visit farmers.com today to hear more true stories from Farmers customers and to find a SoCal agent near you. Jason Grilli, the new pitcher for the Rangers.
50 games, an ERA almost 5.5. It's one scoreless inning way back there on Monday, but he's got good stuff. Relies mostly on his slider. Can get that fastball up ready, sometimes touch around 92.
Bobby Wilson, the batter. An impressive crowd here tonight, Gooby, on a Wednesday night after the Angels have already clinched. Over 40,000. 40,616 tonight.
I think when you talk to the fans at this particular point, I think they feel this is their year. Be able to come here and just get that energy going, similar to what we saw in 2002. I really think this, they feel this is the club. I mean, everyone always talks about the Red Sox and the Red Sox 0-4. The Angels are in postseason against them, but for some reason there's something special about this club. Now, it all depends on that game one again. I'm going to go back to that. But they're going to have the right guy. More than likely, John Lackey getting the ball game one.
And I think the fans will respond to that ball game too, knowing how big that game is. I mean, I don't think there's a team that Angel fans would rather beat than Boston.
Well, if somehow they advance and the other team advances, the Yankees, that would be a lot of fun too.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
The Tigers getting hot. Looks like they're going to be able to hold off the Twins.
Bobby Wilson down on strikes. If there is a dark horse out there, in particular the American League, I know you feel it's the Tigers, don't you?
When you could throw Justin Verlander and Edwin Jackson the first two games of the series, if those guys are locked in, Edwin Jackson pitched, in my opinion, the most dominant game of the season against the Angels in Detroit when he was cruising along in the ninth inning, and then he started cranking up that fastball at 98 mile an hour, punched out the sides there in the ninth with an incredible fastball.
Freddie Sandoval batting for the Angels here.
Now, right at this point, his mechanics are a little out of whack, but when you got that special of an arm at any given time, you can throw a shutout out. At any club, even the Yankees.
So if you feel they're a dark horse, you obviously give them a shot against New York, right?
5-game series, Rory. They're so difficult. One mistake made in the field, one mistake, on the mound. A failed opportunity to get a run across with a man on third with less than 2 outs could be the difference in winning and losing that first round, that 5-game series.
0-2 to Sandoval. And he strikes out. Grilli does a good job in relief. Over 40,000 here tonight. The 8th inning coming up, 4-0 Angels. Eighth inning, it's 4-0 Angels over the Rangers. Fans, the Angels have won the West again. Now you have an opportunity to lock in postseason tickets with a 2010 season seat deposit. Make your plans to be part of all the postseason excitement. Then get ready for every pitch, hit, and inning of the 2010 season. Call 888-796-HALO or visit angelsbaseball.com and get some great seats for the postseason and season seats for next year. See next year if the Angels can make it 4 straight division titles. Kevin Jepsen.
You know, Kevin Jepsen was shut down for a few days, just about a week or so ago, with a little bit of a shoulder fatigue. Trying to get back those mechanics. The big thing when you look at Kevin Jepsen with that fastball, still 96, 97, 98, is bending the back and reaching out and finishing off that pitch. His cut fastball has been nasty.
Kinsler fouls one back, strike one. One ball, one strike to Ian Kinsler. Pitch on the outside corner there. Wow.
A cut fastball slash slider. A little bit more of a break of a slider there than a typical cut fastball, but that is filthy. The thing here now, you can see he's bending his back perfectly on that pitch. Nasty cutter on the outside corner. Fluid mechanics. That's what Mike Butcher, Mike Scioscia want to see out of Kevin Jepsen's here.
It's 3-2 to Kinsler. And that's a walk. So Kinsler's on base to start the 8th inning.
Even though this pitch, that last pitch by Kevin Jepsen, was slightly out of the strike zone, he did have good mechanics. Here you're getting up and down. You want to be over that pitching rubber with some balance. Going forward, you see that front shoulder tucked in and then out in front, bending the back. Perfect mechanics.
Esteban Herman now pinch hitting for the Rangers. And he takes strike one. Herman is 13 for 41. He's driven in 4 runs. Just missed the outside corner again.
Yeah, when we talk about mechanics, how important it is for that front shoulder right here, when he's coming to deliver the baseball, he's got his mechanics there at this point, good balance, and right here, freeze it right here, guys. You can see that front shoulder, it's tucked in here, and it allows him to be able to go downward, which will always be important for a pitcher working downhill. You always hear that adage, working downhill. Front shoulder there, and then all of a sudden, because that shoulder's here, it's locked in, now you're able to go down and have that balance, and watch the back right here. Get over the back here and then goes down. That's able to work downhill in the strike zone.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Herman, who fouls the breaking ball back.
Like you hear a lot of times a pitcher straight up and down. That means his back's straight up, and that forces your elbow to drop and elevate the pitch. You bend your back, get out over that front leg, you can work downhill.
Still 1-2 to Herman. Fly ball, shallow right field. Terry Evans playing out there right now, makes the catch. 1 out in the 8th.
Now Mike Butcher going to go out to Kevin Jepson. This is a valuable time to be able to work on your mechanics too at this point, because he's their 8th inning guy. He's established that right now.
Tomorrow, the postseason rally here at the Big A. Right after the game. The game starts at 3 o'clock. There will be Angel players here, Angel alumni, the U.S. Army parachute team, the Golden Knights, an avid fan contest, and a big fireworks show to close out the evening. So after that game tomorrow, we figure probably 6 o'clock, somewhere in that area. There's no admission charge to get into the postseason rally. And that's tomorrow night. Popped up by Elvis Andrus behind the plate. Bobby Wilson makes the catch.
Well, that's going to be a lot of fun. That postseason rally, last couple seasons, it's been a blast. Now you're going to have the players all there participating in the rally and is feeding on that power of the fans here. It's going to be important at 10th man.
Rafael Rodriguez warming up. Well, the players after the game tomorrow will be heading towards the bus to go to the airport and fly out to Oakland for the last 3 games of the regular season. And I'm sure some of them will, at the very least, stop by the rally.
They're all going to be asked to participate. It's going to be a fun atmosphere for everybody. Why would you not want to go out there at that point? It's going to be, tell you what, I have that opportunity to be able to feed on that energy. You just got done clinching the division against a team that's been battling the whole season, a team that had a lot of confidence that they could beat you. And then you put on a 11-0 crushing of a club, and then you come back the next 2 nights and play exceptional ball.
2-0 to Pudge Rodriguez. Three and 0. Three balls and a strike to Pudge. 0 for 2 with a strikeout tonight. He pops that one foul back out of play. Full count. We'll see if Kevin Jepson can retire the side right here with Pudge Rodriguez up there. Jepson's walked 1 in this inning. Pudge rifles one down the right field line, but foul. Three balls, 2 strikes. And he strikes him out. High fastball strikes him out. Through 8 innings tonight, the Texas Rangers have 1 hit. The Angels are up 4-0 going to the bottom of the 8th inning. One more run scored tonight by the Angels would tie the all-time club record for runs in a season.
Well, that would make Mickey Hatcher so happy. All the incredible amount of work he puts in with this lineup and the extra players, early BP, throws a billion pitches by the end of the year. Soft toss, working off the tee, in the cages, non-stop worker.
Obviously, they're going to break that record, whether it's tonight or not. Eddie Guardado in the ball game for the Texas Rangers. The veteran left-hander.
One point through really hard. Now he settles in that mid-80s. Slider and a changeup, but I'll tell you what, this guy battles.
And he'll battle Brandon Wood right now, leading off the bottom of the 8th. One ball, one strike. Woody is 5 for 30 as an Angel this year and has hit a home run in the big leagues this year. One ball, two strikes. Base hit, left field, Brandon Wood.
Well, that baseball was crushed. Brandon, quick bat. Trying to come inside. Fastball, easily he turned on that pitch. That's the thing about Brandon. He's got such a tremendous bat speed. He can just cut down that swing on occasion, which he did at the end of the season last year and into spring training. But you come in when you don't get many at-bats, you just try to impress and you expand your swing too much.
Reggie Willits at the plate. Well, that's about it. Call it a night.
He's going to bring that hat up for you now, Rory.
There's a line shot base hit for Reggie Willits. First and second, nobody out. Chris Pettit now will get a chance to get an at-bat. And also an opportunity to someday tell his grandchildren, yes, I pinch hit for Vlad Guerrero. It was late in the season, and they needed a big hit late in the ball game. Ron Washington and the Texas trainer have gone out here.
Bullpen for the Rangers is getting out, getting quick to move around and get loose at this point.
They're going to let Eddie throw one, I think, here and make sure he's all right. But meanwhile, Washington's gone back to the dugout, so obviously they're going to leave him in. Well, once he got up and got out of his seat, that was a break for whoever was behind him. That little girl who was trying to look around that hat.
I'm pretty sure when she came to the game, she didn't think that was going to be an issue.
Chris Pettit takes strike one. Chris Pettit got his first major league hit last night. And there's a liner into center field. This time it's going to be caught. And that's the first out of the inning.
Another good swing, though. That was a ball with smoke to center field.
Terry Evans coming up for the Angels. Terry Evans is 0 for 2 on the season as an Angel, but he does have a major league hit. Eddie Guardado, he has said he'll probably hang him up after this season.
He's had a great career. He's a pretty dominant closer. Every day Eddie was a nickname. He wanted that baseball every single game, no matter how many times he's been out there prior to that effort.
His best years with the Minnesota Twins. But you're right, he was one of the best closers in the game.
Really appreciated a guy that's willing to go out, even if he doesn't have his best stuff, if he's tired. He wanted that baseball ready to compete.
Evans hits one back up the middle. Base hit for Terry Evans. And it's going to be an RBI single for Evans. The ball gets away on the throw to third base. Evans winds up at second. It's 5-0 Angels, and they've tied the club record for most runs scored in a season. And it's Terry Evans who knocks in that run.
Get his first base hit of this game here. So pitch on the outside part of the plate. Pretty good pitch. Went with it up the middle. Oh, Gentry, what an arm. He might have had a shot at getting Reggie at third base if that didn't hit him.
Here comes Brandon Wood scoring that run for the Angels.
Well, you remember in spring training, coming out of spring, they had all those great numbers. Everyone said, it's only spring training, it doesn't matter. Well, that kind of season they had down there in Tempe, to bring it into the regular season and put up those type of numbers.
And now they are going to intentionally walk Kendry Morales. In the bottom of the 8th with 1 out, trailing 5-0, but Kendry gets the intentional walk. So they'll pitch to Rob Quinlan with the bases loaded. Quinlan steps in. He's been up once tonight and struck out. Willits at third base. Terry Evans at second. And Morales at first. The Angels have out-hit the Rangers tonight 11-1. Q takes ball 1.
Still looking for that first grand slam of the season, the Halos are.
The Angels are 6 for 13 runners in scoring position tonight. Texas has not had a runner in scoring position.
What a job by Mickey Hatcher.
One and 2 to Q. Bases loaded, 1 out. Ground ball slowly to third. They get to. And they keep the Angels off the board. Quinlan couldn't quite beat it out. We go to the 9th. 5-0 Angels.
far tonight for the Halos. Started with Matt Palmer to Darren Oliver striking out the sides. Arizona with that nasty split and some high cheese by Kevin Jepson at 97 against Pudge Rodriguez. Outstanding numbers for the Halos in this game. Only allowed one hit against one of the best offenses in the American League.
And that one hit was the first batter of the game. Bourbon singled, tried to steal second. The Angels pitched out and got him, and that's been in. Now Rafael Rodriguez in to get an inning of work here in the top of the ninth. And if he has a decent inning, Matt Palmer with a win tonight would be 11-2.
Got the retro hat going. I think the Angel fans are ready to get the postseason rolling right now. One more home game tomorrow, postseason rally, then up for 3 in Oakland and back for the Red Sox.
Craig Gentry leading off for Texas. Rodriguez starts him with a good fastball. Gentry's gone 1 for 10 since being called up, but showed a great arm in the outfield. Pop foul out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Gentry. Colorado beat Milwaukee 10-6 tonight. The Rockies win. The Dodgers have drawn a blank so far in San Diego. 5-0 Padres.
Well, their offense is going away from them at this point.
Bottom of the 7th inning in San Diego. Three and 2 to Gentry.
$5-0 lead. Rodriguez more likely going to challenge him here with that fastball.
He walked him. Fans, the Angels postseason rally tomorrow. Wear your red. Come on out. It's after the game. It's a 3 o'clock game. The fans showing the most spirit will be chosen for the Avid Fan Contest. And if you win that, you can receive up to 4 tickets for the American League Division Series. For more info, check angelsbaseball.com. Strike 1 to Julio Bourbon. He has the only Ranger hit tonight. Rafael Rodriguez trying to keep the shutout intact for the Angels staff that has done such a great job tonight.
Just work that sinking fastball, get a ground ball, get another double play.
Obviously, there's already been a shutout in this series. Irvin Santana with a complete game in the big game 2 nights ago. Bourbon chops one to shortstop. Tough play not made by Brandon Wood. That ball took a tough hop on Brandon, but it's going to be an error on Wood. Looked like he never got the glove on it.
Had spin on it too, so it was a tough play.
So nobody out and 2 men on for the Rangers on a walk and an error. The batter, Michael Young. Young tonight, 0 for 3. 2 ground ball outs and a fly ball to right. One ball, one strike. Michael Young hitting .323.
What a professional hitter. He's a guy that you don't want up in this situation if you're a pitcher, just with a couple base runners on.
Fastball for a strike. Again, for some of these young players like Rafael Rodriguez, meaningful innings here down the stretch of the regular season. Mike Scioscia, with his eyes just glued on his pitcher, he wants to know what he has here in Rafael Rodriguez. This isn't a spring training game. This is Angel Stadium. This is the 9th inning.
Well, for the future, too, can you get big league hitters, especially a professional hitter like Michael Young, out in this situation?
He might get a double play ball out of him. Brandon Wood steps on second. 2 out. So Woody, who made the error on the last play, starts the double play right there.
3 double plays for a Halo defense. We talk about how good this defense has been for the team this year. When you have great defense, particularly infield defense, you're more apt as a pitcher to challenge batters and throw strikes because the plays are going to be made behind you.
David Murphy now for the Rangers. Murphy 0 for 3 with a strikeout last time up. One and one. Rafael Rodriguez, the 5th pitcher of the night for the Angels. And still the Rangers with just the 1 hit. And a nice play made by the third baseman, Rob Quinlan. Diving backhanded pickup by Q. And the Angels shut the Rangers out on 1 hit tonight. 5-0. Just another Halo victory.
What a play by Q at third base to preserve that shutout. That reactionary position, line drive, diving play.
And
keeps it on the glove.
Somehow from hitting the ground.
Wow. That was some kind of play.